Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gaming Renewed. Today's episode, we're going to be disassembling and cleaning and then reassembling a PS3 Super Slim. This one's actually the 500 gig model. I've already tested this one. Tested okay, everything worked on it. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, the disc tray, everything. So, fully functioning system. The only problem is we just got to clean it up, put some new thermal paste on it, and then it's ready to go out for sale. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Like I said, if you're not someone who does this and maybe you just want to service your own console, then this video is perfect. You can just follow along and it'll show you everything you need to do in order to service your console, especially if it's never been serviced since you purchased it back when these came out. It's definitely due for some servicing because it's probably filthy inside. At least clean out the fan and stuff. And if you do have thermal paste, it will be a good idea to reapply some, just because the old thermal paste is probably just disintegrated at this point. But let's go ahead, let's get into it. All right, so to take one of these apart, you actually don't need a lot of tools. Really only need 2 bits right here. This one is like the 2.5 Phillips bit that I use, and you also need the T9 security Torx screw, or security Torx bit, I guess you should say. These are only 2 you're going to need to take this whole thing apart. Everything else, I mean, is really just it's super easy. Like, it's funny because these ones feel the cheapest. Let's take this off. I know some of you might see that and be like, why would you tape right on it? You're leaving so much residue. Well, I have to clean it anyway, so I'm just going to clean all that stuff off. I'll actually show you what I use to try to bring these back some, because these are kind of like the fat PS3s where that shiny black plastic does get abused over time and just leaves a lot of like small scratches and just smudges in it. So I'll show you what I use to get rid of that. That was a super fail. Get out of here. But I'll show you what I do to get rid of that stuff. First, let's go ahead. We'll pop that open because we need to access the 2 Torx security screws in there. First thing we're going to do is take this side and you just push it hard, but you push it away from you. And that pops right off. Actually not too bad up underneath there. And really not too bad in there either. Sometimes it's super filthy in there. We'll grab our Phillips. First thing we'll do is get rid of the hard drive. But yeah, these consoles, they always feel like super cheap to me. I guess because they're the 3rd iteration of the PlayStation 3, and they pretty much have got it down to the bare bone basics to make these things the most, I guess, less expensive it could possibly be to actually manufacture these things. But on the plus side, I've never gotten one of these that don't work. Like, I've never had to actually replace one of these, and I've probably sold maybe like 30 so far, and I always get them. They always work. The only thing that will ever happen is like maybe it's missing like the plastic covers, maybe it's missing the side cover. I've had a couple that was missing the actual hard drive tray itself. So it's stuff like that will be like, I guess, a hindrance to you to be able to just clean it and put it back up for sale. But from a functionality standpoint, they always work. So even though they feel cheap to me, I mean, I guess I can't really knock what Sony's doing because clearly it works. All right, so it's going to switch over to our Torx bit for right now. We won't need that Phillips head until we pop these 2 off. So we'll go over here, crack this Torx screw right up here. This one right there on the top left. I'm going to take that one out because that one's actually holding this in place. So take that out. Sit that there. What you want to do is get up underneath it here, and you just want to kind of pop it. There's 1, 2. Here we go. Come on, there we go. Then it kind of slides a little bit. Come on off of there. There we go. All right. See, it has like these little grips right there that's holding them. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it works pretty well to get off. It always sucks like doing it because they're so brittle that you're really like hesitant on putting too much pressure on them because you don't want to break them. But got a little bit of dirt right in there. see, where is my, we'll grab this, and we'll also grab this. So usually I just kind of brush off the heavy stuff as I go along. Great day, this one didn't want to come out. All right, that's good enough. And then up here, do the same thing. Get up under there. Come on. You don't want to force it, but you do got to put a little bit of something on it. Move this out the way so we can get up underneath of it a little bit better. Come on. All right. And we'll just hit this right here. Like a little flap, like right there. So you can see it's a little flap right there, and you basically just peel it down. So you push it down, you slide that back, then she comes up off. So not too bad. Again, hit it with a little air. Good enough. And now we'll start taking out all of the torque screws. Got 1, 2 there in your disk drive tray. So boom, take one out. So we'll throw you there. 2. You got 1 and 2 here. So take those out. And after you take these out, that should be the last time I believe you ever will need your Torx bit. It's just those 5 that are torque security bolt screws. And we'll take this Phillips head off right here. If I can actually put the dang thing on it. And you got 1 here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So take all these 4 out. And then we have, I believe it's 4 on the bottom as well that you have to take out. And then she pops right off. So it's not a whole lot holding this one on. You don't have to worry about any ribbon cables or anything like that when you take it apart. We'll grab that. You have 1. So it's going to be a bolt here, a bolt here, a bolt here, and a bolt underneath this void warranty sticker. So just get you something in here, pluck it up. Get that out of there. Oh. Boom. Shoot. Same thing. Get you up out of there. Come on. There it is. Get that sticker off of there. Yes, actually made that one. Because one thing about it, like I said, if you're buying something from like a reseller or you're buying something on Amazon or Walmart, if they're saying it's refurbished, you don't want to see that void warranty sticker still there. I guess some people can do it and then just replace it. I don't know why you would replace it. I never would do it. I just leave it off. I want you to know that, hey, I said that it was clean. Clearly to go in it, I would have to remove that sticker. So at least you know that I've been in it. And you're more than welcome to go in it after me if you feel so inclined. I've always felt like that's what a lot of these videos could be. Like, do a little QR code on your packing slip so you get it and it's like, hey, you want to, check my work, you want to make sure there's actually clean in there, scan the QR code, pops up this YouTube video, and you can actually see me cleaning it, or you can just learn how to take it apart so that you can make sure it's clean, because obviously I'm not going to do a video for every last one that I clean. Okay, let's see if we can't get this to come on off of here. It's like let's see. It's always a little dance to kind of get this to do the initial separation. There we go. All right. She's coming off. Got that there. And it should have the same thing over here. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'm going to slide her back up. And come on off of there. Come on. There it is. All right. And that's that. So underneath of it is not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. A little dusty, but nothing really crazy. All right, sit that there. Okay, first thing to do, we'll try to knock off some of that crazy dust. First thing we want to do, we want to take out our power supply. So it's a little cable right there. You just want to take that up. See, grab it by the edges. And then you got a screw over here. Oh yeah, you actually have a screw under here. So you want to take off the disk drive first. I don't know how I forgot that. So you got one ribbon cable here that's going right into the board. Has a lock, so you just want to pluck up that black lock. Pull up your ribbon cable here. You have another small white ribbon cable right here going into the board. You just pull that one up. That one doesn't have a lock. And then you have your final ribbon cable going right into the disk drive itself. But you can pick that up, just pull it over to you some. It has a lot of play in it. And then you literally just slide her on out like that. And there's your disk drive. So comes out super easy. Like I said, these consoles, at least this Super Slim, super easy to take apart. Like, it's not much to it. You have your little power button assembly right here, or your power button circuit. You just want to pull the ribbon cable right out the board, and then you literally just pull this right on up, and there's your power button, whatever you want to call it. All right, move this little cable for your power supply. It's like little cable things right there, cable management ones. Just slide that up out of there. And then we go ahead and we'll take out these two screws. One screw here, one screw over here in the corner. Those are the only two screws that's holding down your power supply. Now, when you're pulling up the power supply, you're gonna have to like do a little bit of working it back and forth, just because there's two prongs that stick in the underside of this, and they just kind of get on there really good. So kind of want to lift it up. It'll be easy to get off this side, but what I do is I grab it here and I just work it back and forth like that, just back and forth, and you'll slowly feel it. There it goes until it gives away. That's the best way. I don't say just pull it off of there. Just keep going a little bit back and forth. You don't have to give it a whole lot, and she'll break loose up off of there. Because you don't want to bend those. You don't want to bend those leads. All right, and power supply out. So with the power supply out, the next thing you want to do is actually take all of this out of this bottom tray. So to do that, you're going to have a bolt here. They're all black bolts. So wow. This one, what the? That's awful weird. Did they change it? Because this connected to Wi-Fi. Huh. Never seen that. Normally this one right here is your, I believe this one right here is your Bluetooth, and this one usually is your WLAN or your Wi-Fi antenna. But yet we only have one on this model. It just goes straight to Bluetooth. That is very weird. Wow, I've done so many, I've never come across that before. So we were able to connect it to Wi-Fi, so I'm assuming that that they just kind of did an all-in-one thing on this one. But anyway, so like I said, we'll take this off the board. You have a black screw there, you have a black screw there, a black screw here, a black screw right there, a black screw right here, and you want to take off this silver screw and that silver screw right there. Once you do that, she'll lift right on up. But first, we're going to take off this little piece, which is, I'm guessing, an all-in-one antenna now. Maybe Sony found a way where they could just bundle them all together instead of having two separate ones. Because I doubt anyone one, nobody went in this because it still had the void warranty sticker on it. So I know nobody went in here and took it out. And unless Sony just forgot, but you can tell over here it doesn't have the Wi-Fi thing, because that little post, well, you can't see it, but there's like a little, looks almost like a test pad. But right there used to be where the Bluetooth one sat and the Wi-Fi one sat up here. You can actually tell because it's still white right there, which used to be a white cable for your Wi-Fi, and it used to be a black cable for your Bluetooth. So like I said, maybe they did an all-in-one approach and they were able to consolidate that antenna down to just a single one. But wow, that's crazy. It's always weird. It always feels like every time I do a recording, that's when like something crazy happens or something I've never seen before. Yeah, just comes up. Now, granted, I mean, that one isn't really all that serious. It's just, I guess, an efficiency that they found, but it doesn't really change the process at all of disassembling this console at all. Boom. Take that, and this should be the last bolt right there. Come on out of there. Boom. Now we'll go ahead and lift it up right there. Let's right on up out. And here is your bottom tray. Again, actually not that bad. I mean, I've seen way worse. So I'm gonna set that one there. Ooh, God, that compressed air is cold. They hit my thumb, boy. She cold now. She cold now, boss. All right. First thing you want to do, you want to pull your fan cable right here. Just route it around the cable management until you get it all the way out down at the bottom. Then that's going to allow you to remove your Bluetooth and wireless cable here. If you have another model, it will be your Wi-Fi, a Bluetooth here and a Wi-Fi here. They both run the exact same cable management channel, so you don't have to worry about that. Wow, this one is under there. Oh, there it is. Guess I can still get it up. Well, nah. Might have to wait on that one. Normally, you can take that channel off like right there. But I guess we're going to have to take off the fan before we can remove that. Normally, there's more space underneath here, and you could just run it. But right now, it's pretty snug in there. There's no point of forcing it, ripping the cable. So I'll just do it after we get the fan off. All right, and with that being said, we'll just flip it over. And our next screws to take off will be 1 and 2. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. After you take those off, this backside panel will come right off. And then we'll be getting pretty much all the way to the end of it, to where it's just time to kind of clean off the board, clean off some of the ports, clean off the old thermal paste, put some new thermal paste on. Then I'll reassemble all this. Well, obviously you'll clean the fan and stuff like that as well, but I'll reassemble all this, put this part back together, and then I clean up these pieces, and then I put them back together. And that's usually my my work process for these ones. Because there's usually not a lot you have to do with these metal pieces. Now, when you're doing this part, kind of give it a few turns here, a few turns there, a few turns here, a few turns there, until they are all the way out. You want to think of it almost as like when you're putting on a tire on your car. You know, you want to kind of go opposite until you get it tight. That way, this little pressure plate kind of goes on evenly. You don't want to bring off too much pressure or put on too much pressure on one side. You might damage the board. The likelihood of that happening, very slim. So it's not like if you do it, it's gonna break it. You know, no, it's a slim chance it actually happens. But I mean, you might as well not do it if you can, help it. So that, you just take that off. Really not much to do with these. I mean, you can hit it with some compressed air or something. You can brush off the light dust. That's usually what I do. It's not really doing much of nothing. Like, I always say, like, I'm not cleaning to detail the console. I'm cleaning to maintain it. I'm cleaning to actually make it run efficiently. That's the goal of cleaning it. It's not so that you can eat food off of it. It's not so that you can put it up in a trophy case all disassembled and see it. That's not what this is for. Oh, sometimes I see people say like, oh, there's like a little dust over there. It's like, yeah, I might have missed it, but I'm not gonna miss anything that's essential to the actual functionality of the console. All right, so now we took all that off. The first thing we're gonna do is actually take this board off. Now, the thermal paste is gonna act as like a little adhesive. So just be aware of that. And you just kind of wanna, well, okay, that lets you know it's not much thermal paste because this just came right off. But sometimes you'll have to give it a little bit. And you don't want to do too much because obviously you don't want to bend the board or anything like that. But sometimes you'll have to give it a little bit of what do you want to call it? A little bit of elbow grease to get her off of there. So the goal is, you see this under here, you basically want to slide that part off and then get it from underneath there. So kind of like that. What is it? Oh, it's hung on this little metal piece up here. All right, so we got that up. And then we'll just slide it. So we got that. And then she'll come, boop, right off of there. And when you're taking it off, just make sure that you're guiding it over that cable right there. That's the cable from your power supply to give your board power. And this is the cable that's actually sending your disk drive to the board. So you don't want to cut those on this little sharp edge. You can see here, there's pretty much no thermal paste left on this, and that's why it was so easy to remove. A lot of times that thermal paste will give it a little more of a bond, but most of the time you're taking apart a console that's old, it's not much left. So we'll just hit everything with compressed air, get into all the ports. Okay, we will sit our board right here for now, because now we need to flip this over like so. And what I want to do is, you're going to remove this fan. Yeah, this one is a different model, because you can see here they actually put thermal pads here, and there were thermal pads on this. A lot of the models, they don't have that. So I guess they did a little bit extra to try to increase the cooling. But either way, you still have the same 3 screws, it seems. You have a screw here, a screw here, and a screw here. And those are what's going to be what's holding your fan on. So we'll just take these screws off. Boop. And 2. Come on now. 2 and 3. And once you do this, once you make sure you're holding the fan assembly when you flip it over. If not, it's just going to drop. So I'm going to flip it over. Then you can just lift it right on up. And the fan and everything actually is like really good considering. I mean, is it like dusty? Is it dirty? Yeah. But I mean, really what this thing was missing out of everything was just thermal paste. Like that's what this thing was like really needing. It wasn't actually much. This comes right off, as you can see, but it really wasn't needing much of a cleaning. Fan sounds nice and good. No grinding, nothing that. You want to make sure it's nice and quiet, nice and smooth. Flowing was spinning freely. So that's what you're doing. But now you can see we can take this off and it just routes itself underneath here, then underneath your hard drive tray. So you just kind of follow it, just make a note because that's the way it's going to have to run back. And then we get rid of our Bluetooth/Wi-Fi cable. All right, now we're just going to blow out our heat sinks here and just blow out any dust or anything that might be on this. And then we'll clean off this, we'll clean off the heat sink. The heat sink actually touches the GPU. And then of course here is where it touches the CPU. So blow that off first. There we go. Make sure you blow this out. Blow off inside the tray. All right, now let's go ahead and take this off, and we'll do that with some isopropyl alcohol, which should be that one. Disregard the car picture. It's clearly nice. 91% isopropyl alcohol. Oh, boop, 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 boop. Okay. Use this to agitate the thicker parts of it. I mean, it doesn't take much. It's not like you're like really scraping. So don't be alarmed. Don't feel like, oh my God, I can't believe he's putting metal on that. It doesn't take much to break it up once you hit it with the actual alcohol. All right, so take that up off of there. Put it nice and clean. Maybe one more spray for that. All right, she's clean. Same thing here. Wipe that off and just remove the heavier stuff. You can use a toothpick or something if you want, but I just find it works a lot easier when I do it that way. All right. And clean that up. All right. And basically we got 2 good points now. So that spray it with some quick air. That helps evaporate that isopropyl alcohol a little bit faster, even though obviously it's not going to last long. It's freaking 91% alcohol. So we'll switch this off to the side. We'll bring in our board. And we're doing the same thing here. So let's go ahead and spray. Boop, boop. Now on these ones, this one, I'll use this to just get off the thick stuff. But around here, I use a toothpick. Just because all of these little transistors, I guess is what they're called, are around it. And I don't want to put this around it and accidentally do something. Well, as you can see, I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything much to it. It's just literally just almost just letting the weight of it just sit there and you just move it forward. It just helps peel it up. So get that off of there. Okay. Boop. One more. All right. Same thing here. Boop, boop, boop. Grab us a Q-tip. Come on. See, it's a little harder to get up the thick stuff when you don't use that little metal pry thing I have. But then again, I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. All right. Take this off. Get a lot of that off. Now we'll do that for the cleanup. All right. Boom. Couple quick dabs just to get up that stuff. All right. I'll take my toothbrush now. And we're just going to hit these ports. Come on. Boop, 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 boop. Doesn't take a whole lot. I had to go up in there a little bit, give them a little bit of clean. Look at that. Thermal paste trying to get on there. Get off of that thermal paste. All right, I'm gonna come around and we'll hit our USBs. Same thing here. All right, blow them out. All right, and that's that. So now, wipe off any residuals we got here. Let's set the board back over here, because now the first thing you want to do is clean off your fan, clean off all this stuff, and then we'll slowly start to put it back together. So the fan in this case actually is really good. I mean, it's not that bad. So here's what I do, is you just spray it down with some isopropyl. Then I grab this, and just go down in each slot. And it's very boring, but it gets the job done, especially for dirtier fans. Now you want to get it in. What I do is I'll just do the same thing, but then I'll stick it like right in one of these blades, and then you just go around, and that allows you to get the bottom, like the little base part of it underneath the fan. Dust likes to sit in there. So got that. Then we'll flip it over. Let's get the back side. Okay. Got that. Wipe down my cable a little bit. Okay. And dry that top part. Blow a little bit of air out of there. Grab this. I'm gonna wipe this out. There we go. The outside some. Not that the outside really does anything, but hey, what's that? It's not that I'm not cleaning. It's just not about to be applying like trim restaurant or something to this thing, which is something you should not do, especially nothing like this close to the board. I mean, I guess you could if you're going to be planning on like really letting it dry, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so now you take that, it's your little housing, take our fan, and it should be, let's see here, which way? Should be a little thing about here. So you can see it like that. It's labeled. You want this side right here, the bat wing side. You want it over there. And it just sits down. And it's got a thing there and a thing there that it sits through. Keep that there. Run that right there in the little cable management thing. And we grab our thing. So we want to sit this back on there. If you don't remember, so always know this exhaust side goes towards that. So basically you're sitting it down. Oh no. This is the only bad part because it's really, there's no way to like hold that fan in there. So you just sit that down like that. Then you flip it over. You know what I just forgot? Because this is a different one. I'm gonna have to run that cable underneath there for this. Let's go ahead, let's get a little bit of that dirt off of there. And what we want to do is take that, put that there, and we're going to go ahead and put that bolt down. That way it just holds this in place. Like I said, this is a different one. I've never had one where it was just single. And they kind of changed up the route a little bit of how the cable management goes. Come on here. Oh my goodness. Would you please stay in there? I hate these. They don't have much of like a drop in. So it's like really kind of not hard, but just annoying to get them started. So we're just going to give it a little bit of a gap just so that we can run this cable up underneath of it nice and smooth, like so. It comes out there. And same thing with our fan cables. Make sure they all come out nice and good. All right. And then you'll spin your fan. Just make sure it ain't hitting nothing. You don't want anything rubbing or anything like that. So hold your fan, flip it over. And now we put in our 3 bolts to hold the fan back in place, which are right here. So you got one there, and one there. Just look for the arrows. You'll see little arrows, 3 arrows. That shows you exactly where to put these bolts back. Because there's a lot of little holes on the underside of this. So you might forget exactly where to put these fan bolts. But those little holes will guide you right to the right spot. Or those little arrows will tell you exactly where they should be going. All right. Remember, you're putting this in plastic, so you don't have to put this in like Hercules. You want it nice and snug, but you're not trying to break them off in there. All right, flip it over. And now this is where we'll sit this off to the side for a quick second. Because now we're bringing this back into play. We're going to put our thermal paste here and there. And then this pretty much sits right on top of it like so. You got to make sure you put this fan back on before you try to put this on, because once you do, you can't access those bolts anymore. So just letting you know now, you're going to end up having to take it back apart. Where's my thermal paste? Here it is. We're using some Arctic MX6. Come on. Hopefully we got enough in here. Might have to break open another one. Just put a dab right there. You don't need a lot on the GPU because it's small. And then you just put a nice little amount. There we go. On the CPU, you don't have to overdo it. Come here. Because once you put it down, it's going to smush it out anyway. Give it that nice coverage that you want. All right. So now when you're looking at this, if you're trying to figure out like, hey, you know, where do I put this at? Always remember the feed through spots. So like you got your slit right here, that's going to go right over here. You got your hole there, that's going to go over that. That's going in there. So that's how you know it goes down. You take these cables, you want to feed it through that right there. You want to feed it through that hole. So once you get these cables through, these are really the only ones that you have to like pay any attention to. Everything else kind of just falls into place. Come on, get through there. There we go. Okay. Now, where your ports are facing you right now, your HDMI, your Ethernet, and all that stuff, you want to make sure that this gets under them. So basically, you want to slide it up like that, and then boom. Then you just sit it right on down. Once you do that, you got a nice firm grip. The thermal paste will hold it there for a little bit, but you still need to give it some support when you flip it over, because this is what's going to actually seal the deal. So we take this, make sure you're holding your board, flip it over, put that down, and look for your L right here, and you got your L right there. That's how you know where they go. So put these in. Come on. There it is. That in. Close down, close down. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to put in your 4 silver bolts that we took off. Once again, look for your arrows. You have an arrow pointing there. You have an arrow pointing there, an arrow pointing there, and an arrow pointing there. So that tells you exactly where these 4 need to go. Again, there's not much to these. They're pretty simple to take apart and put back together. To service, you know, especially like I said, if you have one at home, or if you're just looking to maybe, you know, get into reselling and you want to make sure that the products you're giving people are in good shape and ready to go, and not just a dust bunny that's been, you know, sitting on a shelf somewhere and still plays, still works, but, you know, it's pretty much a ticking time bomb to just give up. You know, this is not really a difficult thing to get into. All right, so we got that, and our last one is over here. Okay, now we'll grab our little I call them pressure plates. There might be something different. Just line it up. And this is one of those times where I say you want to make sure you do the black ones. The silver ones go on the opposite side. So the black ones are the ones you're looking for. Look like that. But you just want to feed them down in there. Just enough to get it started. It'll drop down into place once it catches. Come on. There it is. Okay, so once you get it going, there you go. Then you come on this side, you start your other one. Like I said, you just want to kind of do a few screws on one side, a few screws on the next side. Just slowly just apply that pressure, but balance it out. That's good. A couple over here. Come back here. Over here. And again, you want to snug that up, but you don't need to really bear down on it. You definitely don't want to do it on this part. So now we got that. We don't have to worry about it. We can just flip this right on over. And we want to take our 2 silver screws that look just like those black ones we just used, but they're silver, like that. One goes here and one goes right there by your power prongs. I don't know if they're actually called power prongs, but that's what they're going to be called here on this video. So, oh shoot, don't do that, don't do that. You have to put it in the bottom first. This whole part needs to go into the bottom case, but we're not ready to do that yet because we have to clean this one out. What do I do with that little, there it is. Got that. Take this one out because we've been using that for, what you call it? We was using that for the thermal paste and stuff. You don't want to do it. You will see like a little like hazy white residue if you touch the part that you were getting rid of that thermal paste with. You'll see it sit there. Now, will it do anything? No. But again, you know, if someone was to open it up, see that, you're going to get accused of not cleaning out your console before you sold it. Now, granted, I mean, if it's a listing that doesn't say anything about that, I guess it really doesn't matter. But, you know, like this one, honestly, is sold under a listing that says nothing about being refurbished, says nothing about being cleaned. I just feel like, hey, if I'm selling it, I should be selling it in its best form. All right, so, boom, basically got that cleaned up. We'll sit that down. We'll take this right here. And now the goal is to put that right on in like so. It's like you'll see it's like a little hook, like right over the HDMI. So basically you want to make sure the HDMI sits under that, like so. Then she sits right on down. Once she sits down in that, you can start putting your screws back. So we do our 5 screws that we took out. Again, look for your arrows. There's one arrow here. There's no arrow over here, but it's this little black part on the fan. So you want that right there. There's an arrow here, there's an arrow there, and there's an arrow there. And that's where your 5 screws go, your 5 black screws. And then we'll put our 2 silver screws there and there. So we're really pretty much in the home stretch right now, to be honest. It's not a whole lot left. Boom. Whoop. See what I said about having to do stuff again? Forgot a very important part. There's a part that you would not be able to do after you put these screws in. So we're going to take these screws back out. We'll lift this board back up out of here. Can you guess what I forgot? I forgot to run the dang cable for our Bluetooth Wi-Fi cable. Because you're not going to get it in there if you don't do it now. Because it has to run under there. And that sits there. You'll never get to it. So now we'll go there. We'll run our Bluetooth cable into this cable management. Up in here. Then down. And run it. So just have to remember where it goes. So like I said, make sure you took a little mental note of where this thing goes, because if you didn't, you're going to be screwed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There we go. See? Said you'd be screwed. Now look at me. Almost screwed. Oh, no wonder. 'Cause I'm doing the wrong one. Boom. Go there. Come on now. There we go. Gotta be careful because sometimes the fan cables can get in your way, so just be cognizant of that. All right. That up underneath there. You can tell when your routing is bad because it's not going to reach. They did not give you a lot of leeway on these cables. So if you didn't run it right, you'll get all the way to the end and she'll be short. Like it is right now. So then I'll have to go back and I'll have to reroute it. Because again, if you don't route it right, she will be short. All right, I think we got her this time. All right, now it's too long, which means I didn't route it good, gave it too much. I guess I jinxed myself, huh? I was talking too much trash about it going so easy and being so smooth, and it was like, oh really? It's going smooth and easy, huh? All right. Nope. Dang it. All right, so we're gonna do it like that. So then we're gonna get underneath there, under there, under there. All right, and now we got it. Come on, turn over. All right. Oh, thought I had it pressed down. It just pushes right on that little spot you took it off of. Come on here. Dang glove. There it is. Okay. So now we got the cable management right. What we can do now is we can go ahead and run our fan cable. Run that there. Then that just comes right on around. Tucks in. And boom. Okay. Now we got our fan in. Got that in. We can slide this right back on in. Boom. Okay. Now we can put our screws in. Same 5 black screws. Now, like I said, I've probably done like 20 to 30 of these. I would say it's been at least a strong 10 times that I slide this back in there, slide it back in the bottom tray, and I go, dang it, I forgot. I forgot to run those stupid Bluetooth and Wi-Fi wires. It never fails. And it's so bad because it's just that, like, if it wasn't for this tray part right here, you could do it without having to, you could do it and run it easily. Now, you probably could still get away with it, like if you kind of ran it across or something like that, because honestly, there's no moving parts or anything that would, like catch it or do anything to it. You could run it over through there if you wanted to. So I just like to do it the way that it came. But I mean, there wouldn't be no issue if you did it a different way just because you didn't want to go back in it. It's not like you're going to be damaging anything. All right, so we got those. We'll grab our 2 silver right here again. Now these ones, I just screw it all the way down in there. I don't do the back and forth like I do on the black ones, just because this piece isn't really even connected to that piece. So I don't feel like they are evenly transferring much pressure. Come on here. Oh my gosh. There it is. Boom. Okay. So we got these, got that. All right. First thing we want to do is we'll have to put our power supply in, because remember the disk drive covers that part up. So you want to put your power supply in. So you want to pull these two back to make sure that your prongs go in here. But really all you have to do is just line up your screw holes. If you line up your screw holes, that part will automatically line itself up, and you just push it on down on there, nice and smooth. Run that cable management right there. We will grab this, grab our 2 screws for our power supply. And put our one over here. Okay. Now, do this. I just wipe this off. Some of the dust off of it. Okay. Where's my compressed air? All right. So the first one you want to put in, you can either put these in or you can put this in. I always put this one in because it's just a little harder to see. Ooh. All right, there we go. Ow. Slide those in just like that. And then we'll slide in our 2 other little pieces. This one goes down in the board. And once you slide it in, we'll lock it back down. Boom. We'll put in our little teeny ribbon cable. Dang it. Just forgot something again. Guess what I forgot? I forgot our power cord, or our power button. We'll grab that. You don't have to take that back one off. You can just kind of lift this up. Doesn't take much. You just want to kind of move it out the way. The good thing is they gave you a lot of slack on that back ribbon cable. Oh man. Gloves makes this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. There we go. Okay, got that in there. We'll sit that right on back down. Where's the little pieces? There they are. There they are. Okay. We'll slide our ribbon cable back in. Let me lift. Make sure that your lock is all the way unlocked. Slide your ribbon cable in, then lock it back down. Now we'll put our little small ribbon cable in. Boom. Okay, so we got all that. Plug up our power supply. Don't want to forget that. And that is that. There's really nothing else left to do except for clean this off. Okay, now we just basically sit this straight on down. Always takes a little bit. You're gonna have to kind of coax it in there, so just letting you know that now. What I do is I like to get on the sides here. Right, get that. There we go. Boom. All right. All's well. Oh, gotta get on the side. Do we get it? Yep. Okay. Now, once we get those on, like so, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our Torx, because that'll be the last time we'll need it. And oh, there it is right there. Because all the rest is going to be Phillips. So you might as well just knock these out. Because your hard drive is going to be Phillips. And that's usually going to be the very last thing you put back in here. So you just knock out these few Torx screws. Matter of fact, I take it back because we got the Torx screw right here on the side. So maybe I should have did that last time. Oh, sounds like it's about to storm. Boom. Okay. Leave that one last. Now we'll start putting in our Phillips. Our long screws is coming in from the top. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 2, 3, and 4. All right. Okay. Get some of that little residual dust off of there. Whoops. I want to knock my screws all over the place, right? All right. Take that. Okay, there we go. Okay, close that up. You don't have to use a lot. I just use a little bit. I just like to break up that like surface dirt. Then I come back and I hit it with the actual, it's like a plastic cleaner. That usually just works better for me. So boom, fold that over. Then we'll grab our plastic clean. That's definitely not drift. As you can see, I repurpose pretty much every bottle that I come across. Anything I can do to make the overhead cheaper, I will do. You'd be surprised how much cheaper it is just to buy like stuff in bulk, like maybe like a big gallon of plastic cleaner, instead of buying the little, you know, small ones like that or something. And then I can just pour it in these empty bottles that I have and, you know, do the exact same thing. Save myself some money. All right, so we got that. Now, we're actually going to sit this off to the side. because that's pretty much ready to go. Now for this one is actually really good, so not going to need to put anything on that. So we will actually leave that sitting right there. Now these, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell. Hopefully you can tell. I'll try to move it some, but they're pretty dusty. Not pretty dusty, but also pretty like smudgy. So I'm gonna clean off the backside so we don't transfer dirt and stuff onto it. First thing I do though is I take Windex, and that's the first layer, I guess, of defense to start it. Try to remove any of the any stickiness or anything like that. That's the first thing I do. It's kind of that opening attack. And once I got that, then I come in with that's it. That's the polish. Well, that's the polish, so that's the second step. But the first step is some ultra cut compound. And I just hit that with it, and you'd be surprised how much this like really brings these around. Now, are they going to be perfect? No, but they'll be a lot better than what they were. Come on here. Oh, you closed up, didn't you? This thing has never closed up on me before. Again, I'm shooting a video. It has to happen this way. Come on here now. There we go. Phew. I didn't want too much to come out. That's what I was scared of. I was scared that I was like, man, watch it. Super globs can come out. So basically just dab it on down. Get it nice and spread out. Like so. And then you really just go to town on it. I always like to go up and down. And then I just work my way down it like that. Slide it up. That way that my hand is giving it some support. When you're putting a lot of this force on it, trying to get a lot of those blemishes and stuff out of there. All right, now we'll give us a spot of it that we don't have anything on. Just buff that out. Okay, that, ow. Okay, so that'll be the first one. Looks a little better, and then we'll hit it off with the polish. And the polish usually puts that finishing touch on it. So same thing, we'll grab us a different rag. And wow, we about to have a bad storm. Okay. Same thing. Just dab, 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 dab. It's a nice good amount. Then, same thing. Just go to work. And this should try to help bring out that shine. You know, it's, like I said, it's not going to be perfect. The goal is just, you know, to make them look better than what they did before you started. That's really it. Like, you know, these things are not going to be perfection. Maybe if you like went the wet sanding route, you went all the way from maybe like 1200 grit all the way up to, you know, like 10,000 grit, but it honestly is not even worth the time. If you like really were that serious about it, you'd be better off just buying replacements, because you can get replacements online for like $8. So You know, if you were really ornery about that, said it'd be better to just buy the replacements, because you would probably spend more money than $8 just buying the sandpaper and stuff. All right. So, like I said, you can tell it's a lot better than what it was. May not be perfect, but like I said, the goal is just to make it look better than what it was before we started. So, slide this back on. Let's see, where is it at? Up. Because you want to put these in and they kind of slide. There we go. Yeah, those ones kind of like push them and then slide it and then push that side down, because they have like 2 or 3 slides right there, and then the other ones are just pushed down. So just be aware of that. Here's our last Torx. That locks this one in. That one locks this one into place. Oh my gosh, come on here now. This thing is the worst. Like I said, these, they don't have the what you call them. I think it's really like, they don't really have any depth to like sit the screw in before you have to start it. So you gotta get it like really perfect to start it. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll get our, dang it, I forgot which one is which. Dang it. Well, we'll start with compound. This compound doesn't matter if you mix it with the polish. So same thing here. Going to Windex it. Time is it? 3:30. Not a bad time. I started this at what, like 2 something? So that's actually not a bad time. About an hour. Hit this with a little bit of this bug and tar. That'll get off that tape. That tape residue I'm sure everybody yelled at me about. And one more hit. Doop, 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 doop. And all right, so we got that off there. Put that down. Okay. And we'll start with you. Get us some compound going. Come on. All right. Okay. Dip, 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 dip. Do some dabs. Okay. And then right back at it. So you don't have to work on it long or anything like that. You just want to give it some good pressure. Like going up and down, working it. God, that sounds terrible. You're just trying to get as much of the imperfections out as you can. Again, we're not looking for perfection here, because you're probably not going to get it out of these unless you do above and beyond. Like I said, which at that point, you might as well just replace them. You'll save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headache, because they're pretty cheap parts. You know, if you got one that's like just really, really bad, Like say if it's broke or something like that, just go on Amazon, just get you some replacements. At the end of the day, it ain't nothing but some plastic, so ain't like you working with the best stuff anyway. Finish it off with our ultra finishing polish. Same thing, Nice spread of it. Just make sure where you're pushing that you have your hand underneath of it, because if you don't, you run the risk of cracking it. These things aren't made out of much, so they need all the support you can give them. If you don't give them some support, they're gonna end up cracking on you. You don't want these to crack. You don't want to go through all that and then get to the end and they're all cracked. But you can see here, hopefully you can make it out. Looks a lot better than what it did. Check the underside. Okay, we don't have any spillover. Good. Now we can set you here, bring you back over. Same thing here. You can see they're all like little slides. You have an insert and then a little slide. So basically, when you put them in there, that's what you're looking to do. You want them all to sit in. When they all sit in, then you just push it down and you, boop, you slide it. If you do it good, you'll hear the click. It'll like click right into a lock place. If not, you can just puck that little piece down and it'll click back up over top. All right, same thing here. Hard drive looks nice and good. We'll just give it a quick little dust. All right, slide our hard drive back in. Grab our here. Put our screw back in to hold our hard drive in place. Boom. Take this. If you look, you'll see it says front. Front is where the power button is. So basically, you want to put it on like that. And then you just push it and boom. Bring it to you. She'll lock right into place. Okay. Put that out of there. Nice and good. Okay. Now, when you get to this part, a little tip. Oh, we didn't get the lock? Wow. There it is. Huh. We accidentally slid it back. That was odd. Thought it locked. But a little tip, you want to put down something. Put down just a little rag or something when you do these bottom bolts. If not, you're going to get smudges on the top after you just cleaned it. Granted, can you get them out easy? Yeah, you can. It's not like, it's going to mess anything up, but it'll save you a little step of having to re-clean the top of it. And you just put these 4 back in. Did I get I done put the wrong one back. I meant to put the Torx back. I done put the dang Phillips head back. Okay. Screw these down. We'll use a little bit of the Goo Gone to get that residue from the void sticker, the void warranty sticker off, because you're gonna get a little bit of residue stuck there from that. And boom. All right, so that's that. Now she is finished from a repair standpoint. You got 2 rubber ones. I'm about to say 2 rubbers. You got 2 rubber ones. No, they're all rubber. Yeah. Usually one is a little, guess not. Thought they were. But before we put those on, let me grab my bug and tar remover. Let's grab that. Spread on there. See? Boop, boop, boop. All right, got that. Throw that to the side. We'll grab this one. And now we will grab some trim restorer. I like to put this on the bottom, just because the bottom just doesn't really get any love. Come on now. There we go. Not putting a lot, you just need a dab. Just bring a little bit of that color out the bottom. Just don't go OD with it. If you go OD with it, you're gonna have a little grease factory down there. So there we go. Let's see. You just put a little bit down there. Really gives a there it is. I keep taking that back off. I don't know how. You give it a nice little tip there. It works well. You know, it just really brings it out. Just kind of gives it a nice pop. Now let's grab us a clean one again. What we're going to do is we're going to Windex right along through there. I don't do the compound and stuff through there, just because it's I don't know, it's like too close to like vents and stuff. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I guess you could do it before you put all this stuff back together, like if you really wanted to. But I just hit it with some Windex. It usually does a really good job of just kind of bringing it back. All right, boom. Got that there. Close that up. We'll test our button. Nice and smooth. Okay. And really, see, always forget something. Always forget something. What did I forget? I forgot to put our little feet back. Feet there. Feet there. And feet here. This isn't gonna have anything because the warranty sticker is what covers that. And like I said, I don't replace warranty stickers. I just don't. All right, so that is that. That's how you take apart, clean, and reapply thermal paste, and then reassemble the PS3 Super Slim. So I hope that helped you guys out and just want to do like some maintenance, or maybe like I said, you want to get into resale and just looking to clean up consoles so that you can resell a good product to people. But with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.